It's that time of the week again. This week we'll be talking about Season 7, Episode 4 of Doctor Who, which was The Power of Three. It's quite a good episode, fairly different to the previous three, definitely a lot more slower paced. Although that's not necessarily a bad thing, it was still pretty good, and I kind of get the feeling it's a calm before the storm anyway for next week, which is the big episode. It had some pretty interesting interactions in it, and it was quite heavily based on the relationship between the Doctor and the Ponds. The past few episodes have been building up the storyline that the adventures for the Ponds are becoming a lot less frequent, and they're becoming further and further drawn into their real life. This episode featured that quite heavily, and basically it showed them giving some serious consideration to giving up life with the Doctor and getting back to reality. But by the end of the episode, the passion for the adventures is reignited, and the bond with the Doctor seems stronger than ever, which I feel is a purposeful thing, building up their bond in order to give the maximum impact next week when they're all separated. Pretty sure it's going to be an emotional one. Stephen Moffat can be a little bit cruel like that, which is I love them in. The Doctor had some pretty touching moments, such as his obvious pain when he was talking about the loss of his previous companions, and his scene with Amy, where he was talking about visiting them and spending time with them before they fade away. Sometimes I wonder if possibly the Doctor already knows more about what's coming up for the Ponds than he's letting on, but we'll see next week. Brian was back in this episode. I have to say I actually love this character. Kind of feels a little bit like this season's Wilfred Mott, kind of the hard not to love. But it's a shame really that it's pretty unlikely that he's going to be featured much more after next week when the Ponds leave. I have a feeling he'll probably be back next week though. We also saw the return of U.N.I.T this week. The Unified Task Force, as they're now known, rather than the United Nations Task Force. It was really good to see them back, especially with the character of Kate Stewart, the Brigadier's daughter. I hope we'll see more of her character in the upcoming episode, as well as with U.N.I.T in general. The story of the cubes themselves was pretty interesting. Despite its slow build-up, it had my curiosity up. The only issue I had, that it was perhaps a little underwhelming with the way they was defeated in the end. It seemed like this big build-up and then it was just a wave of the sonic screwdriver and it was over. Stephen Berkoff was suitably creepy as Shakri. There's also yet again a mention of Christmas, as there has been in every episode so far. All in all, in my opinion, it was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed the slight change of pace and the character interactions. I think it's important to have that in there every now and then. Although I've already heard mixed reviews. Some people obviously like it to be all go and all action all of the time. Now it's to wait for next week with the Angels Take Manhattan. I am dying to see this episode. I honestly can't wait. I'm so impatient. Really want to see how the Ponds leave. I mean, I have my theories, and there's lots of theories going around, but you know, you never do know with Doctor Who. It's also the return of River Song. So yeah, probably going to be a significantly longer vlog next week. I'm going to have plenty to say on that one. So I'll see you then. I will be doing another vlog, sort of possibly midweek or in a day or two, about possible theories for the upcoming seasons due to all these little clues that have been put in there. Bye.